Hey folks, we got a great show in store for you today. We're going to go over the how-tos of one of my all-time favorite baits for covering water effectively, crankbaits. I'm going to show you proper presentation, bait selection, and equipment, and why you'll want to make sure that you have an assortment of these babies in your box. We're going to cover it all from A to Z, or if you're from Canada, A to Z. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this one.
Coming up, ask any tournament angler what their favorite lure is for covering water, and without a doubt, they will say crankbaits. These hard-bodied minnow imitations are the go-to lure for anglers wanting to cover water quickly and effectively. On today's show, Bob looks into some of the techniques and lure choices that will help you make the most of these versatile baits. And we'll show you firsthand the big fish that crankbaits can produce.
Oh my! Oh! Wow! Here comes. Whoa! Alright. Oh man. Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Oh, alright. Look at that big laser. Yeah. Ah, huge. Oh, baby. That thing is a monster. Whoa.
The Real Fishing Show with Bob Izumi.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Oh, I got one. Look at that thing. Help! Look at those teeth.
Bob Izumi!
All right. Woo-hoo. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, whoa. All right. Look at the size of this fish.
Real Fishing is sponsored by Chevrolet, Mercury, #1 on the water, and Tim Hortons.
Hey folks, that's what I call real fishing. Crankbaits are a versatile lure that can be used to cover water deep or shallow for a variety of species. They work especially well in the spring before the vegetation fills in the shallow areas. During this time, it's important to pay attention to the size of the bait fish in the area that you're fishing and to try to match the size of your crankbait with the bait fish. Lake Champlain is an incredible fishery, and there's a great pre-spawn bass season. Sean Good from the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department joined me as we casted crankbaits to riprap along the shorelines of Lake Champlain. Nice one. All right. Oh, baby. I just tied on this Strike King crankbait here, and a little deeper runner. Oh, yeah, nice one. Yeah. Right. Fatty.
Wow. That's a really nice fish.
Yeah. Fatty. The water's a little clearer down here, so I went with a more subtle one here. It's a gray back, white sides. It's got those nice Gamakatsu hooks, which are certainly sharp. Nice bass. Yeah, that one took it good. Hooked on the belly hook.
Yep. Aggressive.
Yeah, a lot of times, you can just look at what hook they're on. And that is a good largemouth right there. Nice fat little guy. I'm just gonna...
Solid Champlain fish.
Yeah, that is a Series 3 Strike King. I'll just show you the difference here. This one here, Series 5, is bigger. It's the tour grade, and here's the difference inside. They're both got the Gamakatsu hooks, the high-end hooks, and I thought this smaller one here, the Series 3, would just be good for cranking this little bit clearer water. I think the wind isn't bad here, so the water's a little clearer.
Yep.
You thought we'd get one off there. Oh. Uh-oh.
Snake?
It's a long one.
Yep.
Whoa, it's a big one.
That's a good one, too.
That's a big one. We have a very nice sized pike on here.
Oh, that is a nice pike.
That is a big pike, isn't it? Whoa, baby.
Check that out.
Oh, he's lassoed and there's no leader on there.
I'll get him right now.
Yeah, if you could. Will he fit? Oh, no.
I guess the answer is no.
He won't fit in the net? If he won't, I can grab him.
Let me get his head in first this time.
Okay.
All right.
You sure?
I need some slack on your line, though, when I do it. There we go.
Okay. All right. That's a big pike.
That's a beautiful pike.
That is a big pike. All right. Yeah.
I'm going to get a picture of you with that fish. That's a nice pike.
Man, oh man.
It's on that Strike King again.
Yeah, Series 3, a little tour grade.
Beauty.
Good stuff. Yes. What do you figure that red is on the side? You see that? What?
Oh, no. I don't. No, I don't see it, Bob.
Well, it was a little bit red coloration on the side.
Sometimes, you know, they lose their slime coating during the spawning season. See, pike are just coming off the spawn now. They spawn early.
So, a little crankbait like that, and a big pike like that. That was good fish.
That was a really good fish.
Probably about 10, 12 pounds.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Now I'm going to retie after that. Wash up. Big fish. There's some fish. This one was on the break. It's a big old bass. It's like my, oh yeah, that's a nice large one. This is, okay, I just caught that big pike and this was the next cast in there. Just this size is bass. Oh yeah.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Bob.
That is a hog.
I can't believe this. This is incredible.
That
it really
is a hog. Oh man. Yeah.
That is...
All right. Whoa, baby. Just hooked in the corner of the mouth there.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. I'm not parting with this crankbait. I was going to give it to you, but I think I better keep it.
It seems to be your lucky charm.
Evidently.
Look at that.
Look at that. Thank you, Bass. All right. Thank you, sir.
Stay tuned for more how-to info on crankbaits. And still to come, Wayne Izumi hooks into the biggest bass of his life.
Oh, it's a largemouth. Largemouth. Yeah. Evidently, you're trying to mess me up here. I'm fishing behind the boat. He just doesn't want me to catch any fish. You gotta hold your mouth right when you're fishing a crankbait. You gotta hold it like this. Oh, there's fish. Ah, don't worry about it. Just a wee fella. Just a wee fella. But you know, it's funny because this crankbait's really producing some fish right now. You know, the big pike and some big bass. And this is a little Series 3 Strike King crankbait. And, you know, I chose it earlier for fishing the riprap because I wanted a bait that was subtle, because that riprap we were fishing, the water was a little clearer over there, Sean.
Yeah, it was.
And I was just about to change about 10 minutes ago. Coming down this bank, I thought I'd go maybe with something with a bit of chartreuse on, but the water clarity's not bad. You can see down probably what?
Yeah, there's probably 3 feet visibility.
Yeah, so, you know, I thought, well, okay, I'll keep this subtle bait on, but this time of year, spring, those bait fish are fairly small, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this time of year you really want to, you know, it's kind of like matching the hatch when you're trout fishing, fly fishing. You want to put on a smaller crankbait. It works a lot better in the springtime because the bait fish tend to be smaller in the springtime.
I'll tell you what, Lake Champlain sure is a great place to catch numbers of large bass on crankbaits in the spring. Crankbaits are also a great lure choice later in the year. Bait fish will often move into shallow water late in the season, and those big fish follow them to feed up before the winter. This is when cranking along a shallow weed edge can produce a lot of fish. There are some channels off of Lake St. Clair that will fill up with largemouth in the fall. Fishing for them can be so easy when they're stacked in there and you use the right bait. Alrighty. Get on in there, Mr. Crankbait Largemouth. Yeah. Yeah, you want to be careful landing these. I'm running 10-pound trilene fluorocarbon here, and you know what? Crankbaits are an incredibly effective lure for covering water. And this is a shallow running balsa wood crankbait here. It's got the circuit board on, and it's one of Strike King's flat shads, one of the tour grade baits. And what I'm doing is cranking it down this shallow weed edge here where the largemouth on this late fall deal are keying in and moving out of a lot of the back bays and feeding on bait fish. This wide wobbling shallow diving bait's perfect little tool for covering this type of water. And what I'll do is I'll use the cranking rod at various angles depending on the depth I want my crankbait to go. Another thing that's important when you're crankbait fishing is to vary the angle that you're fishing. So if you're fishing a rock riprap wall like that one over there, or you're fishing lay down wood, a lot of times the fish will want it at a specific angle, and you might want to hit it like this, this, and this to vary that angle, because the fish might just be triggered with the bait going a certain direction. Now what I've done as a little trick here is I've taken some needle nose pliers and I've bent the line tie here slightly in or off, actually to the left. The bait is actually running off center. But that's a cool thing for this particular shore, because I want the bait to keep in contact rather than running off of the potential little edge here where the fish are. Anytime there's a lot of bait around in shallower water, it's a great bait for covering the water.
Stay tuned to see why you don't want to head out on the water without a variety of crankbaits in your tackle box.
Look at that bass. Oh yeah.
Let's take a look down under with this week's Fish Eye View, sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water. You may have noticed there's no shortage of hard baits on the market these days. It's no surprise that some work better than others. Picking the right one for the job can be a daunting task. To complicate things, all hard baits come with built-in action. Most of us, therefore, make a choice based upon shape, size, and color. And yet, what separates standard from great lure design is actually subtle differences in action. To fish, that wobble and pulse speaks volumes. Game fish rarely chase down healthy forage. Injured minnows, on the other hand, swim in a different manner. Safe when motionless, it's that struggling vibration that draws predators. Your lure should mimic the same thing. Balance, density, and lip shape all factor in, a product of research and testing. With the right choice, you can dive down to their level and turn fish with a steady retrieve, though speed is a factor. Better still, do it up one better by adding a few tugs and jerks to the equation. Stop and go erratic movements consistently produce more fish, and you can slow it right down to finesse them on a tough bite. The real beauty of hard baits is their multi-species versatility. Armed with a single high-quality lure, you can easily target a wide range of fish on a variety of different waters and produce some big results along the way.
There are many variations to the classic crankbait shape that can add a unique action to the lure. The king shad, for example, is more of a swim bait, although some would call this a crankbait. Now, it is a jointed lure with a unique wobbling action when it's pulled through the water. This lure can be used on the surface or subsurface. Recently, I was fishing with my good buddy Dave Smith in Oklahoma using one of these swim baits. Oh, it's called a king shad.
Yeah, I've heard about the king.
Strike King came out with it's a hard swim bait, and look at there. All right, that fish just, you know what, it hammered it, sucked it in. And this bait here, you can use it fast retrieve or slow retrieve, but they say that, you know, it's just a very shallow running bait. I was listening to Van Dam talk about it the other day, and of course he was talking about that tournament you just fished out in California.
Yep.
Out at Clear Lake, how you know, the soft swim baits were really popular, but what he liked about this one is you can work this one a little faster than those soft swim baits.
Yeah, they have in all the tackle shops out there. It's very popular out in California.
I'm just fishing this one about 2-3 inches under the surface. And you see here, the action on it's pretty cool. Got incredible wobble. Those pike are gonna love this bait back home. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think it's a fairly decent one. Oh, I guess the way today's going compared to the ones you're catching, Dave, this is just a mediocre one. You know, I was reeling this king shot as slow as I could go, and fish come up and hammered it. I actually saw the fish hit it. Right. Another variation of a crankbait is a lipless one. They have a tight vibrating action and make a lot of noise with the built-in rattle. Now they work well on a steady retrieve, but they can also be yo-yoed and stop and go as well. While fishing in Mexico with my brother Wayne, we use lipless crankbaits to catch bass along a flooded roadway. There we go.
Close to the boat. Close to the boat, right? You got me wet.
You can jig these up, Wayne.
Yeah.
That's funny. I made about a 6-foot cast and just jigged this. Jig this fish. No. You like this bait? Not bad, you know.
Better keep away from that side. Oh, jumped into the tree and caught out. Somebody else's line is still there too in that tree.
He almost jumped and hung himself in that tree, didn't he?
And there's somebody else's line there too.
All right.
They're getting bigger.
All right.
You might catch up to me if you keep that up. That one.
They love this crankbait. I put on a one of the variations of red, which in Texas,
I think that's called red.
In Texas, this is a very popular colored crankbait. So I figured I'd pack a couple of these when I was getting ready for this trip, just in case. These Mexican bass were close to Texas, and I figured maybe they act the same. All right.
Oh yeah. Keep it down.
Oh, looks pretty big.
Isn't it? I don't know. You don't know. Whoa.
Oh, looks like a nice one.
He's pulling the boat.
Let me get my bait out of the way here. Okay.
Pulling the boat.
Look at that. That's a nice one. Look at that bass. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, baby.
Good one.
Look at that gentle net job. Whoa.
So you're using a Fire Tiger version of the same bait.
Just put it on. Just put it on.
I can see the lodge, which already has a good selection, Wayne, of straight king baits. Will probably be getting some of these red eye shads in.
I would think so, eh?
And there we go. 4 pounds, 2 ounces.
4.2.
Well, I thought it was a little bigger, but you know what?
There we go.
Not a bad bass.
Big frame.
Good stuff.
This tip of the week is sponsored by Coleman.
When it comes to using crankbaits, matching the hatch can be just as important as when you're fly fishing. There are 3 things that you should look at when trying to match a crankbait to what the fish are feeding on. The first and most important is size. Fish will often key in on specific size of forage, and even a slight deviation in the size of your crankbait will make all the difference. The next thing to look at is profile. You want the shape of your crankbait to match the bait fish in the area that you're fishing. If they're feeding on, say, perch or smelt, then go with a long, slender profile. And if they're feeding on shad or herring, then use a short, fat profile. The last thing to look at is the color. There are a wide variety of colors available on crankbaits that cover all of the spectrum. You should try to match the color closely in clear water, which usually means using, say, a more subtle color. In stain water, try using a color pattern that is similar to the bait fish, but has brighter colors that stand out in the murky water. So next time you go crankbait fishing, remember, size, profile, and color, and you'll be sure to put more fish in your boat.
Up next, we head to Georgia to show you what type of fish crankbaits can produce.
All righty. One of the great things about crankbaits is they're so versatile they can produce fish almost anywhere and for anyone, even for my brother Wayne. I was trying to shoot a show with Steve Crouch in Georgia, but as usual, Wayne had to be fishing in the back of the boat, interrupting us with a fish. Oh, alrighty. Another crankbait fish there. You're running out deeper with that Strike King.
I don't feel like getting those hooks in my hand.
Okay, bring him over here. Oh, you got him double hooked.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Actually, he was only hooked by one, Bob. The old crankbaits. I swung one way and rehooked them.
So you just swung the rod back
Swung
the
the
other
rod
direction.
back and forth. That's why when you watch the old tournament pros, that's how they do her.
Nice little largemouth. That's a Series 6 crankbait. Depending on the line size, crankbait like that will get down 10 all the way down to about 18 feet of water.
Now he's finished, so I can get back to casting.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 pounder hybrid is like a.
Oh, it's a largemouth.
Oh,
That is a giant.
Oh, missed again.
That is a giant largemouth. Let me get the net here. Wow. Wayne, that could be your biggest fish ever. It is. Look at it. Oh, my. Oh, wow. Look at this thing. Strike King crankbait. Come on up here, Wayne. Wow, come on up here.
Can I have my lure back?
Would you like his rod?
Look at that crankbait.
Oh, man, he really hit it good.
All righty.
That's great.
Nice little Sunday morning fishing, eh, guys?
And we're going in for breakfast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this.
The back of the boat does again.
Yeah, you're the master of the back
Yeah.
of the boat, ain't you?
Wayne, that could be your biggest bass of your life. What do you think?
Definitely is.
Is it?
Incredible.
Series 6 Strike King crankbait on a 7-11 Crucial cranking rod here. 12-pound trilene fluorocarbon line. Great line for cranking because it sinks and there's no stretch. And Wayne?
Oh, gotta support the belly. It's so heavy.
All righty. Way to go.
Great. That's a great fish.
All righty. That thing is a fish of a lifetime, Wayne.
Of a lifetime.
All righty. All right, there you go. Crankbaits are one of the most versatile lures out there and can catch pretty well all species of fish. They enable you to cover water quickly and produce a lot of big ones. It's easy to see why they are one of my favorite types of lures. So next time you're out on the water, be sure to bring a good selection of crankbaits with you. Hey, we'll see you next week right here for some more real fishing. Look at that bass. Oh, yeah. That thing is a fish of a lifetime, Wayne.
Of a lifetime.
All right. Yeah, all right. This is a big fish. That is a fish of a lifetime. Whoa. Well, that is just amazing. Look at that thing. Oh, yeah. Wow. That was too cool. Oh, man, what a fish. Look at that. Yes.